being, things to kind of consider. What are these DPS players going to pull out with? There's a lot of different options here. Certainly things are Mei-centric right now, especially centered around that tank line, that front line that they're both running. And interesting, we are actually seeing Proper teleporting them out, going to the Hanzo. So this will be O2 Blast with a positional advantage, surely getting to the point first.
And this is so important with the Mei. They can now use the Mei wall to isolate anyone from Runaway that comes in, but it's Runaway that used their wall first, just trying to give their shield some more health. And now both teams sort of even in their positioning as O2 Blast advance. There's a halt, there's a hook, but it's QQ that gets hooked in. He tries to get away, but he's isolated from the wall of Pelican. That's a first pick for O2 Blast. Now trying to take the first cap. Runaway are gonna let it happen.
Yeah, that was all theirs from the start. O2 Blast was in control from the beginning, from the outset. That Symmetra teleport just got them onto the point quicker. They were able to get into position, and they pulled the wall out early from Runaway, as Runaway just needed to pull away from that choke. And at that point, they just weren't in a good position to take that fight anymore at all. So now O2 Blast, with that advantage, they get control of the point. Now 21% on the board for themselves. Now it's going to be Runaway's turn. They have to start figuring out a way to rotate over, have to get away from those lineups. There's a big pick.
And that's a moment of entry. He's actually playing at an off angle now, throws the Dragon Strike on to the point. O2 Blast, they will clear for the moment. They have their amplification matrix, and now it's Proper firing right back. Dragon Strike as Runaway lay a Blizzard onto the point, but he still loses the battle to Proper, but still Runaway. Proper actually with two, making this maybe winnable for O2 Blast, but Runaway have just gotten too many important picks at the start, mainly taking out the support, will grant Runaway this cap.
On top of that, Runaway, they have an economy advantage coming away from that fight as well. You're talking about holding on to the Ant Matrix, at least having the Ant Matrix coming up soon, but holding on to the Transcendence from Gangnam Jin. That's going to be huge for them. Now they can actually have a massive uptick against O2 Blast in this next fight. They could win that one out, hold on to some of their DPS options, except for the Dragon Strike, which I'm sure they'll probably want to pull out just to secure that fight win. But other than that, they could hold on to everything and look good for fight number 3.
Mainly looking at this whole hog from Krong, and even these halt and hooks can be so important to get that first pick as Runaway with a damage advantage. Kaiser laying down a supercharger as well. Now it's whole hog at the ready for Krong, but QQ is found. Immortality not able to help him. Isu tries to throw out a Dragon Strike, see if he catches anyone. A nice halt gets them all in it, but Mondu with an even important Immortality field saves O2 Blast only for the moment. Isu still can't win the Hanzo duel against the other. And the players just stunned from this. Runaway leaves a Blizzard on the field, make sure they can claim that space right back, and O2 Blast need to keep Kaiser alive. They do so, but they lose control in the process.
That took way more resources than Runaway was hoping to have allocated to that fight. And of course, on top of that, O2 Blast was able to steal that away from them for a moment, but they all came down to that first pick that they got into QQ, and now QQ also onto the Hammond instead as he was trying to get back to the fight.
Dragon Strike right through the point, doesn't find anyone, but a Blizzard might find some. O2 Blast try and claim the space they so desperately need, and Hisu gets his revenge on the Proper. Runaway using the Transcendence just to keep themselves stable as O2 Blast seem a bit separated at the moment. The support's doing with their own duels, and Kaiser gets run over. So Runaway stay sane for now, and this is coming down to the last fight.
Right, last fight. Could be here, Runaway right now. Definitely close to building into some of these options that could shut O2 Blast down. And Pelican, speaking of shut down, he is just that.
Oh, Kaiser can't even get to the rest of his team. But there he does. He's healed back up, but no, out. And there is the point. O2 Blast, we're depending on Kaiser to touch. And Runaway with the first one.
DJ Gunn got the high five. No one left hanging here for Runaway. This is a team that plays together like no other. Their synergy, I mean, at certain points in their history, they were unmatched in synergy, and certainly we've seen how teams have caught up to them. However, now it seems like Runaway is back in it. They've figured things out. Here in this 2-2-2 meta, they have managed to figure out a way to get back in. Yes, they did go to a game 5. They lost to Gen G, who we just saw got completely roasted by EM, but now here in this matchup, this is all that matters. Get ahead of O2 Blast, get into the finals match for tomorrow. Secure your spot in Gauntlet.
Yeah. But look at these compositions. The Halt Hook, sure, but a Winston Hammond as the 2 tanks going in. So you sacrifice that Matrix, you don't have to self-destruct past the shield. It's going to be the dive lineup of Runaway, and then you have a Reaper on top of it. This is a really strange composition from Runaway, but now they've trapped O2 Blast in their spawn, or the first doorways into the map. And losing Gangnam Jin, though, is definitely not great. Your main source of healing for Runaway, along with your main tank. So although O2 Blast seem pressured positionally, they will thrive and take the first point.
Yeah, O2 Blast was actually smart not to go out into the open where both of those tanks from Runaway and Hisu, Yaki, those 4 players would have been able to go forward and just start wreaking havoc. O2 Blast made sure that they stayed inside, denied those sight lines so that Yaki, Mag, and QQ could not get in. And now O2 Blast in control here. They have those long sightlines to play with as well. Proper Pelican on the double sniper. It's all about trying to whittle away at Runaway as they make their rotation ever closer to that backline.
It's Runaway trying to close the gap, have Hisu follow along with it, and there's Yaki clearing the space, but Hisu's down. O2 Blast, their snipers under fire, under pressure. How can they make the space that Proper and Pelican need? All they can do, Pelican with 2 actually. Runaway still taking care of the front line and some of the supports of O2 Blast. There's not much they can do, but now Runaway can move towards the point, try and claim it back. So despite the kills, they didn't actually get any objective progress here.
You can see his face is like, okay. I mean, like, you got that one. You got that one. Yeah, I'll take it. It's fine. But in investing that, they aren't even able to flip the point yet. And now O2 Blast stabilizing behind this Transcendence as well. So here, despite Mag's utilization of that ultimate, they haven't got any value out of it so far.
Runaway still not claiming the point. This is now 65% plus. O2 Blast could easily take this round if Runaway don't think of something, and they're running out of options. Hisu and the front line are down. O2 Blast still so comfortable and haven't broken a sweat
at all. 80-0 at the moment, trying to fire back against Runaway. It seems like this double sniper is just working out so well. Now Runaway, knowing that they only have 1 shot, they have to go for picks here. So what do? Hisu on the Widow now. Yaki maintaining this pick of the Doomfist, going to be able to equalize there as well. They just need to get a shutdown on someone, get an advantage some way. Lee Jae Gon now has the sound barrier available.
It's the last chance, 98% plus. Runaway needs to think of something. They don't have a ton of ultimates to do it proper. Wins the Widow duel, and Krong takes QQ on a trip. O2 Blast, I mean, someone from Runaway has to touch, and they're losing bodies with this dive. They don't seem to have anything coordinated going. And with Mag at the back, it's their Lucio that's forced to touch. Lee Jae Gong is back to the Shadow Realm, and O2 Blast are just unstoppable on Sanctum.
And now the Tracer getting low. There's the forced recall out of Hisu. He can't even get back to the point as he gets thrown off with the whole hog. Now it's tied up 1-1. Really good stuff there from O2, being able to answer that dive that came out from Runaway, looking solid. Now we move on into Village, though. This is where we see, again, that structure come into play. O2 Blast started off pretty strong. We saw them get that early control by utilizing the Symmetra portal to get everybody forward and onto the point quickly. Now they're going to have to maintain that level of creativity and composure here to be able to win out on Village, get this first map win under their belt.
There is Village. We're going to see the Mei duel, which we saw back on Shrine. Yaki versus Pelican. Snipers aside, except Hisu. Proper probably to get them a head start. And going back probably to the Hanzo himself. Now O2 Blast, I mean, Runaway aren't doing that, so O2 Blast get a bit of a positional advantage. We saw how much that mattered at the start of Sanctum. But now on this high ground, it's about isolation. There's O2 Blast with the first wall. Runaway to kind of stop the follow-up. Proper finding Mag is big. No shield for Runaway. And look, they don't even want to take the fight without him. They almost get halted and hooked even more, but Proper's on fire for O2.
Yeah, he was able to clear that immortality field as well, so Runaway couldn't even try to stand and deliver against O2 Blast at that point either. So Runaway, they let the point go. O2 Blast in control here, but they will have that opportunity to come back in. We saw how they were able to fight back on Shrine. Could do it again, but now the halt hook combo coming in again for O2.
1-2 punch, and Krong is running after more. This is a guy I thought was an amazing diva, but he's proving to me he's even better on the Roadhog. And there's a flashback recap. The slap back. O2 Blast in control.
At 25-0 right now in favor of O2 Blast. Runaway getting ready to go in for the third push here. Still very much out in the open. Need to make sure that they maintain their defenses. No. This time they're getting the first pick.
Oh, that's not someone you want to lose. No, a lot of pressure on the Mondu to keep this healing up. Now both Roadhogs out of the picture. But Pelican with 2. O2 Blast still in control. The Dragon Strike from Hisu and even a halt. It finds 3! The turnaround and the slapback Runaway will take the cap.
That was huge from Mag. He was able to divert his attention, get an angle on the Immortality field, and by doing basically just that, by putting that sightline and just throwing all of his damage at Immortality field, he was able to get those kills, or secure them rather, with the Dragon Strike that came out from Hisu. So really clutch play there from Mag to solidify that for his team. Without that 3K, they wouldn't have capped that.
There's an early Dragon Strike from O2 just to make the space in case they were waiting there as a blizzard from both sides. O2 Blast still haven't been able to make it out of that doorway, and their front line just got completely demolished. So back to spawn they go.
O2 Blast coming up on that Transcendence. That should allow O2 to really just kind of dive in, allow them to hold onto their Immortality, force Runaways out early, and then have that resource advantage going later into the fight. Could even trade their Immortality earlier and hold on to the Transcendence for the second option. But either which way, you're talking about a huge advantage from the support line, but you don't have it on the DPS line proper down.
And O2 Blast, they go right back. They lose one. They don't even think about it twice, especially proper. This is the one, I mean, your main damage provider. This is the guy who's gonna carry. And O2 Blast will waste any time.
Now Runaway need to make sure that they keep it up. Got to get those picks at the moment, because if this fight goes straight head to head right now, without isolation, without picks, could go O2 Blast away, but Kaiser's down.
Oh, he's getting whole hug. He's bringing that May even deeper. Even the Transcendence from Youngbong just didn't give them any resources after the first 2 picks went through. That was done. Runaway, 85+% coming down to the last fight for the first map of this first of 3.
And with each of these really quick picks that are coming out for Runaway, O2 Blast is just losing that economy advantage, and they already lost it big time by not having the Transcendence available anymore as well.
Another first pick from Runaway. They have a whole hog. Overtime about to dwindle away. O2 Blast, they can't even touch until the back was turned of the Roadhog. There's Runaway, still walling them off. You cannot break down this wall. O2 Blast can't touch it, and Runaway will get the first map.
Missing that high five there, but not missing out in these combos. Runaway, they were so good at creating that isolation early in those team fights, identifying that the players from O2 were just a little bit staggered when they came in and rotated into the point, caught one out, looked for the pick, and they found it each and every single time.
Just those first picks, man. Hisu, Yaki working with that positioning. If it wasn't Hisu getting the first pick, it was Yaki isolating them off, always working their composition to their advantage. And that's the danger of losing control against a Mei comp. It's so good defensively, much harder to attack to, especially when Runaway kept having the high ground. There was nothing O2 could really prepare when they kept constantly getting picked.
And just think about the redemption here that's on the table for Runaway. They didn't make it to Showdown after Season 1. They weren't able to compete for one of those slots. Fortunately, Korea still locked in 3. You can see Flowerven, the rest of her team, so excited about this first map win. This is one step forward, one step closer to making it to the finals, redeeming themselves for Season 1 and making it into Gauntlet to play on an international stage, something they missed out on at Showdown.
Well, Runaway getting there. Revenge so far, still 2 more to go. It is first to 3, O2 Blast. Will their dreams get cut short, or will, now that they have the choice of their next map, will they be able to even the playing field? We'll see you guys after this quick break. Heading into map 2 between Runaway and O2 Blast, and Runaway starting off strong, but at least the round 3 win on Nepal, and it seems that O2 Blast have chosen to bring us to Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, proper Pelican, both looking fairly solid for O2 Blast. And we saw some setups from them initially as well that were very different than what we get from the standard approach where you do just run out to the point. Obviously, O2 Blast is trying to min-max in every way that they can. I mean, Symmetra coming out to allow them to get over to the point quickly on Shrine. We even saw similar things happening where we saw O2 Blast getting to the point very quickly back on Village as well. But O2 Blast, I think, just missing out a little bit of that stability that we're used to seeing from them, especially from their 3-3 looks. Kaiser has really been a pillar for them over the course of season 2 and even through season 1 and into Showdown as well. But for O2 Blast, I think right now Proper has done a very good job of finding kills and securing picks for the team, but O2 Blast around him has been falling a little bit short. Runaway have been catching people out of position and exposing them and making O2 Blast look a little bit more vulnerable than we would have thought.
And what I noticed is that Runaway seemed really good on the defense. If you think back on Sanctum, when they had control, it was 100-0. And then, I believe that was that, and O2 Blast, I mean, once they lost control of the point, they were just getting picked off constantly, and they had to keep resetting. They never committed to a fight 5v6. So even though they weren't wasting time into a dead fight, all these picks kept coming through for Runaway due to the isolation of the Mei, due to Hisu popping off. And even remember back on Shrine, Hisu and against O2 Blast wasn't always winning those Widow duels or the Hanzo duels. It was actually maybe more of O2 Blast, hence why they look so good on